Ladies and gentlemen, to unveil Steve McMichael's bust at his home in Chicago, Illinois, is his wife, Misty, and former NFL teammates.
Awesome. See your bust. You gotta see your bust, baby. You ready? It's gonna be right here. Mace, help me pull it down. Let's go. Oh. Wow.
Hall of Famer.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's no restoration.
That's amazing. That's you, baby. Forever.
Steve, you're here with all your world champion brothers. Back in Canton, we have 378 brothers that's looking for you. You're on a team that you can never be cut from, you never can be released from. When you die on this team, you will still be on it.
Right,
welcome home, team. Welcome home, Steve, I should say.
Football heaven.
You're in football heaven.
That's right.
Forever.
That's right,
Much love, brother. Welcome home, brother.
Somebody big just died. Chicago Bears legend Steve Mongo McMichael is dead at 67 years old. And my friend Mike North is here to deliver his eulogy. Mike, how are you, my friend? And before we get going, I know this is a tough one, but I also wanted to congratulate you for the Barrett Sports Media Lifetime Achievement Award that you're going to be receiving on May 9th. Congratulations. Yeah. That's awesome, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And you and I have been together now a while, and this show started with Eldo, but you know, this all began like for me in 1989, and I appreciate you bringing it up. I know yesterday Shane Norling and all the guys at AM 1000, you know, brought it up, and Eric Ostrowski, and I just appreciate everybody I've ever worked with. And I guess it's the pinnacle. You know, I still have a lot to do. I feel like I can keep going, but you know, you just you never know what's going to happen, as we saw with Steve here, and what we've seen with this show. There's a lot of people that we've seen a lot younger than me. Including Steve, that don't have the opportunity to keep going on. So as long as I can keep going on, and as long as I can keep be coherent. I mean, I make mistakes every show, but I always did. So I don't make mistakes because I'm older. I make mistakes because I did when I was like 30, 39, 40, and I started in business.
You're human, Mike.
Yeah, but I do know that people look at certain people and they say, well, is age going to get you? And I hate the ageist thing. I really do. And I'm not part of it. That's why I look up. I mean, my favorite person maybe in the whole world is Mick Jagger. Not because he's the most talented, not because he's the best looking, not because it's because the man works his ass off to keep relevant at 81. And nobody can say, and everybody that's younger goes to see him. And that's how I'd like to see it. So I hope we keep this going a long time. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody at the bar room, and I appreciate our sponsors, all of them that I've had, and a lot of connections. And I've known Tino Antonacci almost 30 years, 32, 33 years. And, you know, I remember you guys too, man. Thank you, Cliff. And, you know, Tino's from Pennyville Station, but he was with Pasta. But everybody's got a connection, and people downtown, all the people I knew. But Tino's been there for a long, long time, and he helped hook me up with Cumberland Chapels, ladies and gentlemen, funeral home. And they are the best. And then I got to meet the Lupos. I met a lot of great people on the Northwest side and in the suburbs by hanging out at Pasta. Well, now they're at Pennyville Station. But, you know, Cumberland Chapels is also a connection of all these fine people, all good friends. And they've always been Mike North supporters. I appreciate it very much. You couldn't ask for a more prestigious place than this. If you're going to do something like this that we find important. And tonight, we're going to be doing it on a great guy, but they got to make funeral arrangements like everybody else, and it's something that you have to do. Cumberland Chapels, nobody does it better. Check them out in Norwich, Illinois, 8300 West Lawrence. And then I just talked about him, Tino Antonacci, and one of the great guys, and his son, Tony, who runs Pennyville Station, owns Pennyville Station, is the proprietor. Tino's a worker. That's it, Tino, you're a worker. That's the way it is, but you're the ambassador of restaurants on the Northwest side. And your son's learned a lot from you. He's got a great place there. And Tony, we appreciate you as always. I've known Tony since he was 10, 11 years old, and we've always been loyal, both the Norths and the Antonaccis. A lot of appreciation there. And there's Jesse, and just great people. I think of Jesse when I got my award. I mean, he's been there with me since the beginning too. So anyway, we have one tonight that I didn't have to do a lot of preparation for.
No, for sure.
I didn't know, what am I going to do for Mac, for Steve McMichael, who I knew very well. People don't even know. I mean, I knew these guys in their prime. You know, there I am when I could wear purple. And there's Mac. I mean, he was still playing, I think. I think we started, no, maybe not. We were gone by then, but he was starting to make, he was a jack of all trades, man. Consistent. I don't know. At the beginning, he was known for being a football player. At the end, he's an entertainer. Entertainer, analyst, you name it. That's what he
did. And Mike, I got a good example of that. I got Aldo actually posted a clip with Mongo and Gene Greco. So I don't know if you want to watch that real quick.
Of course, let's watch it a little bit. Let's watch a little Gene Greco. I know Mark didn't always like this.
From the NBC Tower, this is Sports Sunday, the complete wrap-up of today's action around the NFL. Sports Sunday with Mark Gene Greco and the Bears' Steve McMichael.
Time to have some fun. I get 200 times a day. The bread snaps on my toes. No one can tell me what to do because it's my show. That's right. Because it's my show. Yes, it is. It's my show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Sports Sunday. Yours truly and Porky.
Mark, have you ever seen the movie Deliverance?
You've got
a
got a pretty mouth, yeah. And that's when it was wacky. I mean, in the 90s, I mean, we're doing the score. Everybody's nuts. TV's trying to keep up. Gene Greco did a great job. Mark didn't always like that. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm glad Mark did it. That's what I'm talking about, the entertainer in Steve McMichael. You know, a lot of people know him as a Super Bowl Bear. But you know what? He was a gregarious guy. He mirrored the 85 Bears.
Oh, yeah.
As far as personality goes, they were all personalities. Everybody got paid. Everybody had a good time. McMahon, Hampton, Fridge. All you have to do is watch the 85 Bears special on the 30 and 30, and you're going to see that. But as with everybody, even with Mongo, and I don't need a whole lot to talk about as far as having to study about him, because I told Joe, this is one of the few times, like, you know, I'll be going, you know, so-and-so died, and Joe will go, yeah, okay. And Joe will go, hey, so-and-so died. I go, yeah, okay. All right. But this is one we share. We're both
there was no doubt on this one, Mike.
There was no doubt. Nothing. I mean, this is, to me, the beginning of a lot of the 85 Bears who have already passed on, from Sean Gale, Dave Dorson, Walter Payton. I mean, these people are all younger than me, and you see them going. And Steve was born in Houston, Texas. He died in Joliet, 67 years of age, 6'2", 270, had a heart, played as hard as anybody I've ever seen.
That's the truth.
I think there's people that believe if he wasn't in the shape he is, would he be in the Hall of Fame? It's not the point. The fact that you have to even determine whether or not he would be means that he was there. Okay. Most people go, no, he's not a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he is a Hall of Famer. But there's no doubt that this terrible disease, which every man or everybody fears, all families fear it, took this guy and he battled for years. He lived for 3-4 years. Just terrible. I don't know if it registered when all the guys were there. I mean, I was able to, Jim, I think a couple of people asked me if I wanted to go see him. Dan McNeil was one. Danny was going to go see him, and he called me. And he said, I hope some people make the Soldier. Well, that's not my scene. It really isn't. But I don't have anything but love for people that went there and made them feel good. Okay? But that's not something I do. I don't, when somebody's ill, I don't get involved, no matter who they are, what they are, unless, we're very private about that. But for the people that went, for the Jared Paytons of the world and the Coverts, and Richard Dent gave a great speech. Look at that. All these great, I have nothing but the ultimate respect for them. And Misty, I remember when they got married. I remember when they came to the show that I did. I won an Emmy for there that's where we had the picture. But I mean, he had what Lou Gehrig had, right? I mean,
ALS.
Only you didn't see Gary Cooper get like this. You know what I'm saying? Through the movie. So you could watch it. But yeah, I wore it for Steve. Usually I wear the black shirt with this, with the collar. I said, what can I do special for Steve? And he went to Freer High School in Texas. He was drafted in the 3rd round, 73rd pick. That's when they used to just pick during the daytime. Looked a little bit like the rock star Meatloaf.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He looked like Meatloaf, who's gone now too. There's Jimmy and him. Played for the Patriots in 80. Then the Bears made a great pickup. Finks and the boys. 81 as a free agent to 93. There's Ditka. He carried Ditka off, which I thought was cool because, everybody kept saying the defensive guys love Buddy, but yet who carried him off the field? The Fridge, who loved Ditka more, and McMichael, who I think secretly had a real affection for Mike Ditka. He really did. He was the Chicago Slaughter coach. It was like, football team,
That's right.
2007 to 2013. So, I mean, a good run. Super Bowl champion. 2-time first team All-Pro. 2-time second team All-Pro. 2-time Pro Bowler. All-decade team. So when you start talking, is he a Hall of Famer or not? Does he get it if he isn't ill? Well, there's some numbers here that back him up. He's on the all-decade team. You know how many people play his position in the 80s for 10 years? A lot.
Yeah, and a lot of good names, too.
Big names, and this guy was the bottom of the barrel at the time. And he came to the Bears. Chicago Bears all-time team. Top 100 greatest Bears all time. This is stuff a lot of people don't know. Unanimous All-American. 2-time first team. Southwestern Conference. Jeez. I mean, the guy he was a wrestler. He was a United States heavyweight champion from 1990. Oh, yeah. If there was a buck to be made, Steve would do it. He bought the bar. He had the bar in Romeoville. But when I called him, I said, I need a guest. Everybody in Chicago would want to be on this show. Steve goes, brother, I've been waiting for you to call me, And it was awesome when he came on our show. And then they'd eat with us afterwards, whether it was Peyton or whether it was Eric Kramer or whether it was Mark Grace. It didn't matter. Look at him there. That's Meatloaf. Look at him. He had that look. And he was a tough guy, man. And he was born, of course, in a separated home. I mean, his dad left when he was like 2 years old. So he had it, but he played 6 sports. He lettered in 6 sports in high school. Football, basketball, baseball, track, tennis, golf. Guy was an all-round athlete when you look at him. People just think of him as Mongo, and he could have played the guy on Blazing Saddles. If they made Blazing Saddles in the last 20 years, he could have been Mongo instead of Alex Karras, for God's sake,
Sure.
It had to be a dream. He got 76 scholarship offers. This is stuff, folks. Listen.
The guy's just a Just an athlete all around.
We preach this. You don't hear this on other shows. He died, Mongo, we love you. Yeah, 5 minutes and then gone. A few specials here or there. No. I didn't hear once he was a 6-time letter type guy in high school. I learned stuff on this show too. Look at my guy. There he is. He was drafted out of college by the Bears, which was cool. If who's that? Is that Surratt and Marianne? God bless him. He used to come in my hot dog stand, so we go way back. Me and Bobby. He's at WGN. Never been on the show. I can't believe it. He hasn't asked me. I can't believe it. And there's Marianne, and there's Mongo. Let's see what else we got here. Wrestling, 95. There's Misty. Boy, she stuck it out with him, man. I got a lot of respect for her. And by the way, the Hall of Fame bus looks like him.
Yes, it's one of the better ones. I agree, Mike.
To me, it was one of the better ones I've ever. Exactly. I mean, they got some. I mean, Kobe Bryant looked like Bill Cosby or something. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? So, he was in the Four Horsemen. This guy made money not only at football. He had to keep working, man. But he loved the limelight. He loved what he did. But then, the best time, take me out to the ball game. Okay, and Angel Hernandez is the ump who everybody hated. Everybody hated, and he made some bad calls in the game
for a long time.
Let's play a little bit of Steve McMichael, who I'd give his singing a 3 out of 10, but I'd give his delivery to the umpire a 12 out of 10. Here we go.
Goes home, Chicago! And don't worry, I'll have some speaks with that home plate umpire after the game. Ooh! A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers and Jack. 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Classic.
Like he wanted a piece of that. Would have been sad for that umpire. I don't care how big he thought he was. He's looking at McMichael like, come on, man. And McMichael, that was a great night. The Bear, Ditka and him butchered the song, but they were so funny when they were up there. Mongo, I have some things for the umpire after the game. It just classic, man. Other endeavors. I mean, as if we have a name. Look at him. Look at him there. Look just like him.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, it's almost. If he was here with me, he'd say, Northie, I got to tell you, brother, that looks like some Hollywood movie star compared to what I look like. Yeah, that talks about the 7-inning stretch is one of his endeavors. Okay.
Yeah, endeavor.
I could tell some stories about Mongo. I was one of the first radio guys to figure out a way to, buy cars. And I'm not have to buy cars, but drive, dealer cars, talk to people, get a free car, throw some stuff on the radio, And they used to do that with athletes. So I said, if they do it for athletes, they could do it for me. Right now I'm rolling back in 96, 97. So I did it. They go, where'd you get that car? I go, it's a Lowe's Edelson. Where'd you get that car? So I had about 2-3 cars going. Well, I knew athletes did it. And the story I heard, I won't say the dealership. Steve got a van, for road trips. And he was with Hampton. And they were on a road trip. I'm not going to say who told me. Reliable sources. And they were drinking, I guess. And the van broke down. So they left it on the side of the road. Usually you call somebody. And when the tow truck guy got there, the steering wheel was all bent, mangled, because they were pissed off. So they actually bent the steering wheel.
Oh
or somebody
my
did.
God.
Yeah. So that's a famous story that a dealership told me. Okay. And, I'm not going to say they're the only ones that have ever screwed up a dealership car. People have.
Of course.
But you get them fixed usually, or you say, I'll be good for it. Nah. God bless him. He married Deborah Marshall. They divorced in 98. Then he married Misty Davenport, who was Mrs. America, by the way.
Wow.
At one point in her life. He had been diagnosed with ALS. And, that is what men fear the most. I think of anything, even though anything that's terminal is bad, but this is a slow thing. I remember John Drury catching it, who was a big newsman in Chicago, and we saw pictures of him. He was world wrestling champion. The guy was just a tremendous competitor. Not a whole lot on his family. He was, like I said, his build weight was 270 at the time. He retired March 6, 1999. I do know that him and Covert which was great to see Jimbo there at the deal because they got in a little altercation in camp back in the day, and it's famous. And they were both tough guys, and that's when the Bears used to practice twice a day. Now they practice once a week, but they used to practice twice a day with pads. So Pete would be hot, tempers would start to flare. You're hitting each other. Dick is out of his mind. I mean, they'd have nothing left by the time the game came. It's amazing how good they were. And I guess Mongo got pushed into Covert. He hit Covert from behind. Covert goes, "What's your problem, man?" And they went back and forth. And Steve told me, he goes, "Micah, I had no idea that Jimbo was a state wrestling champ in high school."
Jeez.
Covert picked him up and threw him down. And but they were friends after that. But there was two teams on that team, So it was great to see the Hall of Famers that were there. And Steve part of that group now. And I know that you have some things to say about him. I mean, because you're a little younger than me. I saw him from the beginning in 1980. When were you born again, Joe? Look at him there. Look at Jimbo. Him and Marino were roommates. He told me they told me some stories.
The big man. I was born in 88, Mike.
So you were 8 years old when he was no, you weren't born. You were for 8 years when he was already in 1980 playing.
Right.
So by the time the 85 Bears came, you were a little bit, still young, right? So you watched.
Well, that was before me. I was born in 1988. It was before.
Oh, you were born in 88. So so you missed everything, right?
I missed it all, but I saw all the highlights.
You saw the highlights, and you saw him near, with his comical stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get to see him in the wrestling stuff when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Just I was getting into football in the late 90s, really starting to enjoy it. And I just got to see his highlights and how he played the game. And as a Chicago Bears fan, I mean, that's just what you look for on defense. That's monsters of the Midway.
I wonder, I know the Bears. I know. I wanted Warren. They said North wants Warren. Good. Let's take the other guy that hasn't done as much. Let's take that guy who might be better someday, but isn't right now. I think that's a good thing. I said, okay. And then I'm hearing all of a sudden he can jump higher and run faster than a guy that was a top 5 player in football. So it's typical Bears. And I wish I'm not against the kid because I wanted a tight end. I didn't want GNT. But the whole point I'm making is before you were even born, the Bears actually did things right.
Yeah.
In the 80s. Jim Finks they put together a team and they started from the trenches and then they built out and then they got their franchise quarterback. We still don't know if we have a good head coach or a franchise quarterback yet. We can pick up all the people we want. They had a coach and a franchise quarterback, and then they built lines. And then so when I hear all the nonsense, I've been there. I've seen it. And when I hear somebody say, well, he's not as good as Warren this year, but 2 years from now, you wait. While Warren's inside a dome, catching 70, 80 passes a year with no wind. This other kid's going to be at Soldier Field, and we'll see what happens. But I watched, and then I go like this. I go, what did I watch this year? I watched Penn State would have 7 wins without Warren this year. They had 11. That's all I'm going to say. Michigan won 8 games. So we'll see what happens. But that's my point. The one time they got it right is McMichael's era.
Well, I think that's part of the reason, Mike, is that as a kid growing up in the 90s, that's part of the reason you look back.
Well, you saw the Lovey years. You saw the Lovey years, which were good, but they weren't as fun. I'm not kidding you.
They weren't
because
as fun.
I never thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. I never did, even though they were in it. I couldn't even believe they were in it. They're the team. They're like the 2005 Sox. Nobody even thinks about them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They think 85 Bears. You never hear anybody bring up the 2006 Bears.
No.
Ever. So you saw something. But 85, I was a kid. It was 10 times bigger because everybody was a personality. And Mongo led the way on the posters, Coca-Cola commercials, and everything else. I mean, they were all personalities. I mean, my God, the Black and Bruce brothers, and you had Otis Wilson. But look at these guys. You got Trace Armstrong next to him. The Super Bowl was unbelievable. And that was against his old team. That was the Pluto game where they told McMahon you can't wear Roselle. You know, they were scared to death of the Bears that year, every team. 2 people, 1 team and 1 person I've seen scare professionals. The 85 Bears scared professional football players that were the opposition, and Michael Jordan scared the opposition.
Yep.
Those 2 teams, the 85 Bears, I hear players, we didn't want to play them. We knew we were in trouble. And with Jordan, I hear grown men saying, you didn't want to get him mad. So I got to see extraordinary. The 85 Bears were extraordinary. And Steve McMichael was the least extraordinary of them all. He was just like a regular lunch bucket guy. And he rode the promises. So to Misty and to everybody that loves Steve, everybody, all the Bears, me, all the Bear fans. I said the other day, nobody epitomized Joe Q. Public and the working man more than Steve McMichael. Nobody. The Bulls, Norm Van Leer, maybe Doug Buffone, guys like that. Blue-collar guys that stayed in the community after they were done playing. Stayed with us. Buffone stayed with us. Ditka came back to us. It was Thayer never left us. Was grown up in Joliet. True. Those are the people we love. And I love the 85 Bears. And I love Steve. On behalf of my guy who did a tremendous job putting this together, Joe Mandel. I don't know. The hair tonight looks like a hairpiece a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
my hair looks like it's out of control tonight. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I know what happened with Steve McMichael. He brought us a lot of entertainment, and may he rest in peace. And to McMichael family and to Misty, we love you. Thank you for all the good times, Steve, and we'll always think about you. Good night.